Welcome everybody to the One Shot Killers podcast. I am your host, the hardcore icon, Brain Scott Noon. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Raw was good tonight, brother.
I'm doing great, my brother, little brother.
Oh yeah, I didn't do the typical how you doing there. Yeah. I'm glad you're doing good, brother, and I'm doing good. It's always good when you're the champ.
Did you notice what I said?
LA Knight can't relate. Yeah.
Oh, you're messed up for that, but did you hear what I said? I called you little brother.
Oh, bro, I'm not. You're the one wearing the Rollins shirt. I'm the one with the title. See, Tribal Chief.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See, Tribal. Look. Tribal Chief, Tribal Chump. Tribal Chief, Tribal Chump.
He's the real champ, just without a title.
And you know what, and Joe, and you know what? Maybe that's you, buddy. The champ without a title.
Oh, man. No, honestly, though, before we get into any of that, man, you know what we're starting off. We're going big with a dab.
Yes, sir. I have not smoked all day. In fact, I didn't even. I have not smoked all day. So this will be the first hit of the day.
See, just the fact that you don't even know, it's time to go.
Joe.
Road Dog knows that.
Is this your first one of the day too, or no?
No, it's my second.
Oh, okay. So you're a little ahead of me, but then again, you tend to be.
But it's my first dab if it counts.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that.
And this dab's about to take me to the moon. Oh, wait, it's going to take me to MLW.
Ha!
That's funny.
You know what's sad, bro? I actually really like Cameron Grimes.
Me too. I don't think it's sad, though.
I think it is. He went from being a WWE superstar to wrestling on YouTube.
Yeah, I can see that. We still like him, though.
I do, but, you know.
Let's see.
It's just the WWE's great, like tonight's episode of Raw. And, I mean, did I want to watch it at first? No. But that's because Raw's been kind of shitty lately. And then all of a sudden, Joe, and you kind of said this before we went live, WWE's been shocking you lately. Well, they shocked me because the show didn't suck.
Well, they shocked me with when Brock showed up in the beginning of the show with Oba.
Oh, dude, that was so good. Oba Femi comes out with the crown, right? Yeah. And that place goes absolutely bananas. And
He's
so
over. Like, bro,
Joe, I just want to say you were right.
What?
You were right.
What?
All right. Oba should have won the King of the Ring.
Just kidding.
And Joe, I'll tell you something. This hurts. I want you to know how bad this hurts. I'm glad I was wrong.
At least you're a man. You're man enough to admit it.
All right, but you know why I'm glad I was wrong?
Because we get Seth versus Roman.
Seth versus Roman. We're getting Oba versus Brock. And Jey Uso's still getting a title match before Oba.
Well, at least we get Oba and Brock inside a Hell
in a Cell. Now, bro, I have to ask you one important question. Let's say that Oba Femi beat Brock Lesnar and Sammy beat Jay because, Sammy just won the title. All right, if it came to Oba and Sammy, after Oba beats Brock in Hell in a Cell, and he just won King of the Ring, do you have him lose to Sami Zayn?
No, no. I don't think I would even have him go after Sammy.
Well, because he would have to lose to Roman then.
Yeah, you know what? It kind of sucks that he's not going for his championship match, but it's better for me because now we're getting that third match.
I kind of see the positive, right? And here's the positive. So, Money in the Bank. Joe wins Money in the Bank. You got one calendar year to cash in until the next Money in the Bank. All right. Well, think about this with the King of the Ring. Yes, you get a WWE title shot, but no one said, Joe, you must defend your title shot by King of the Ring next year. No one ever said that. So technically, Obafemi did not lose his title shot, and he can claim it anytime he wants.
I'm glad they at least said that. So at least they gave us a reason still. But Brock and Oba inside Hell in a Cell, bro, they're gonna kill each other. And
And
Oba's gonna retire Brock, and that's how we end this. Like
bro,
Minnesota is where Brock is from. The biggest party of the summer, I believe, is where he debuted too. So it's like it fits the bill.
and this is where I'm genuinely so excited. I genuinely I look at, okay, here's what I would do. There's three wrestlers on the active roster where their hometown is Minnesota, where SummerSlam is going to be. And WWE does tend to go with the hometown man. And so, while I think Brock Lesnar will retire at SummerSlam, he'll lose to Obafemi. I don't think no one is really rooting for Brock Lesnar going into that match. Um, Chad Gable is Minnesota born. All right. Chad Gable should win the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. All
Yeah.
right. And then also you have Tiffany Stratton. While I'm not sure if I want her to win, I would love to see Tiffany Stratton versus Chelsea Green at SummerSlam.
I think for sure we're getting that Chad Gable Penta match because they were face to face tonight looking at each other. So Chad's picking up victories. He beat JD in a really good match with the ankle lock submission hold. So I think
So
he's going to start building up wins. And at SummerSlam, he beats Penta.
and
Yeah,
bro,
come on now.
absolutely. And there's a lot I want to get into with Chad Gable because there's a lot happening with him and around him. But, I got to mention, as we were talking about the start of the show, when Brock Lesnar was cutting his promo on Obafemi, and he goes, I don't watch Monday Night Raw. And then he goes, so I have my advocate tell me about what happens on Monday Night Raw. And he told me when Brock Lesnar's not around, you like to talk a lot of shit. When Brock Lesnar's not around, you like to call Brock Lesnar a bitch. When Brock Lesnar's not around, you like to talk about how you're going to destroy Brock Lesnar. And then he goes, are you going to say that right now? And Obafemi stayed quiet. And then he goes, but you know what? My advocate told me you cut a really good promo. And bro, this was the funniest fucking part. He goes, Brock Lesnar could never really cut a good promo, so I had Paul Heyman right here. And
Straight
I
kicks him in
started
the balls,
laughing,
bro.
bro.
Straight
And then
kicks
he
him in the
goes, but
balls.
you know what? You talk shit, you get hit, kicked him right in the dick, bro. And I just erupted, bro. Then he hits him with the F5. Brock Lesnar is walking away. And then Obafemi challenges him at SummerSlam. And Brock Lesnar goes, okay, okay, okay. You want SummerSlam? I'll give you SummerSlam. But it's going to be hell in a cell.
I
Now, bro, can we say that this is smart? Okay, because think about this. Under Triple H, I know, not everybody, or I think ourselves included, have not been always the biggest fan of Triple H's booking. But here's where Triple H is smart. Triple H has made Hell in a Cell important again. The last time we seen Hell in a Cell was Bad Blood 2024 when Drew McIntyre faced CM Punk. All right.
end of
Before
their
that
feet.
match, we were seeing Hell in a Cell get its own pay per view where, let's be honest, bro, Hell in a Cell didn't feel special no more. And for the first time in 2 years, we're getting this match. And when they said Hell in a Cell, bro, at SummerSlam, that crowd popped.
So did I because it's special now again. It's the end of a feud. That's how it
So I
should.
feel like, we all talk about, Triple H does so bad this, so bad that. I have to mention, this is a really good thing that Triple H has done.
I agree. But then we get to the first match of the night, which was Ray versus Ethan. It was a fine, decent match that I
So
enjoyed.
I
Rock
must
winning.
say, the right winner won.
What? No.
Bro, forget Ethan Page. He wasn't even worth having an entrance. Okay? And
Ego.
He didn't even. Yeah, bro. They played his theme song that says "Ego," but they only showed the very end of his entrance,
He's
and
still
then Rey
good.
Mysterio got a full entrance,
Oh yeah, great. And
and
then he
then
beats him
in like 5 minutes,
like what?
and bro, and honestly, I was so happy. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie to you, like, bro, I was genuinely happy that Rey Mysterio beat Ethan Page, and I popped, bro. And then see, I had damn, I was texting you everything. I didn't write nothing down. Um,
The next thing though was JD, or it was the judge. It was
oh, they
Dan
stole
House.
fucking Danhausen's Knicks jersey.
Yeah, and they trashed his place and left. And then the next thing after that was um I believe it was Joe Hendry's little concert he had going on with.
So there were parts of this I liked. There were parts of this I didn't.
Yeah,
I love that Montez Ford finally acknowledged Seth Rollins. I loved their feud of I don't like you, I hate you, I don't trust you. To all of a sudden, man, you were there when I needed it the most. I really like that. However, what I don't like is Joe Hendry being the third wheel in the Joe Hendry concert. Like, think about that, bro. He was singing for the Street Profits. Then the Street Profits start talking about Seth Rollins. And then you got, once again, this is the Joe Hendry concert. You have Joe Hendry cheering and clapping along for Seth Rollins. And then Austin Theory came out and said, "Hey guys, we already won a rematch." And so, Joe, I hope you love rematches
this was
because you're
stupid.
getting one.
This was stupid. This is what you're using Joe Hendry for. He should have just stayed in TNA.
Bro, like, I want you to think about this. The Joe Hendry concert, right? He was a third wheel in his
It
own
was
segment.
awful. Love the Profits, but this was stupid. Um, then we have. Well, we already knew that Io challenged Liv, so she came out there, basically put the crown on, and said that she's going to be the next champion until Trouble.
That's
Liv.
me.
Gosh,
Uh, bro, awful theme song.
I
But
know, but
however,
yeah,
she came out and I gotta admit I love this because we normally see it in the men's division. Maybe outside of Jade Cargill, we do not see like a women's faction having the numbers advantage and
yeah.
stuff like that. That's usually saved for the bloodline. I genuinely actually like that part of it. Now here's the thing, and I got to thinking about this. um the big deal with Io beating Liv is Io had never beat Liv in a one-on-one match. All right, she finally did it, won Queen of the Ring, and that was amazing. But she won it really because Danhausen cursed Liv. All right,
And she's doing it
and
now on her own.
right. And so here's my thing on this. I don't believe Io Sky is going to beat Liv Morgan in this world title match. And I don't believe she's going to beat Liv Morgan because you look at how heavily pushed Liv Morgan is, and she has been for what, since 2022?
Yeah.
I just don't see WWE having her lose to Io after she already lost to Io.
How do you call yourself the greatest champion of all time when you never defended your title yet? Like, I just don't get that. She said that. I love Liv. I laugh. I'm
I
the
mean,
greatest of not defending my title.
well, I mean, not her fault.
I get
So
it, but still.
the creative until Queen of the Ring, like this is legit. Until Queen of the Ring, they refused to put Liv Morgan in another storyline because they thought, oh, any day now maybe Stephanie will be back. Well, she's still not back. So Joe, instead of giving Liv Morgan a storyline sooner, maybe doing something with her, they thought, oh no, we'll keep waiting for Stephanie.
She keeps
And,
mentioning Stephanie, too. She did it to.
right. And all this is because WWE and Triple H really want to give you Liv Morgan versus Stephanie. So much so they don't want to put Liv Morgan in any other storyline.
Are they going to add her with Io? Because I feel like that could happen. Stephanie, Liv, Io.
I could see that. Maybe this is how. Okay, so let's say we did this, and this is the only acceptable way I will see EO winning the championship. So Liv Morgan's about to win. Maybe the whole Judgment Day's out there, whatever. They're the reason Liv's about to win. Stephanie Vakir comes back and beats up Raquel and Roxanne. Then comes and distracts Liv Morgan. Io rolls up Liv Morgan. 1, 2, 3. We have a new women's world champion, and we still get Stephanie versus Liv, but not for the title. I would actually be okay with that.
I could be fine with that as well. I really want EO to win the title at SummerSlam. I almost said WrestleMania.
Oh, and good brother, I ain't lived in Florida since 2015. It's 94 degrees today. Brother, I have not missed this heat whatsoever. And I know you keep seeing me like sip water I haven't even smoked yet. It's because it is hot as hell. I got a fan on. I got a fan on, bro, right here. And it is hot as hell.
It's 97 here.
See, bro, I couldn't do that. Like, look at me, look at me. Chubby kids aren't meant for
you see me, I'm tripping.
Bro, the only thing I ever want to... No, I'm not going to say that. But anyways, bro.
You can tell me after.
I probably will. But anyways, if you look at me, these chubby kids ain't meant for the heat, bro. And I'm out here dying. All right? I feel like a glazed ham right now.
No, man, but we got something that really irritated me about this show.
What's up, brother?
Here's the 50-50 booking with this company. Let's have LA Knight win next or 1 week, and then he loses in a fruit roll up the next.
Dude, so I want you to know I didn't care that it was Jimmy who won, but I'm so glad that Jimmy won. Okay?
Dude, they don't care about LA Knight. I don't know how many times I gotta say this.
They don't, and it's about time you realize it. If you realize it, bro, you know what? You won't be so upset if you just come to terms with it.
Won the title before him.
Yeah.
Sammy was driving around with his car, and he had like a belt right in his passenger seat. I thought that was funny.
And Joe, like, think about this: Sami Zayn, who's never been the #1 merch seller. Sami Zayn, who's never got a pop as loud as LA Knight. Sami Zayn, who I guess the one thing I can say is he's bust his ass for 20 years, is the WWE champion. LA Knight, who was #1 merch seller, super over with the crowd, great promo, great ring skills, connects with the audience. Never, ever, ever. Bro, I don't even think he's ever won Intercontinental. I don't think he's ever won a tag title. I don't think he's ever... He's only ever held the U.S. title. Never Money in the Bank. Never King of the Ring. Never Royal Rumble.
Awful. I don't get it. And, like, you get fruit rolled up by Jimmy because Solo basically...
Like, and I'm sorry, I have to go back to this. My mind's circling right now because I want to know what you think. Like, Joe, and it's no disrespect. Once again, I'm not trying to disrespect Sami Zayn, but... I think there are valid reasons to be upset with Sami Zayn being the champion. And one of them is this. You're telling me Karrion Kross, who was once a #1 merch seller, no title match. In fact, released from the company. All right? You're telling me LA Knight, 2023, #1 merch seller, never won world title.
I do see what you're saying, and I agree with LA Knight Cross not getting moments. It's awful. It really is.
But, like, Joe, if you're selling the most amount of merch, okay, and look at Cross. Fans were staying after Monday Night Raw just to what, maybe talk to him for 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And you're telling me that all of that meant nothing.
I see what you're talking about. I really do. I just personally do believe Sammy is a world champion. He's killed it for years. He's had reactions up to LA Knight at times in NXT, and maybe
it's because Vince was still there. But this is the only time I would have put Sami Zayn as the WWE champion. When Sami Zayn broke away from the Bloodline, and it was Elimination Chamber. It was in Canada, I believe it was Montreal. It was Sammy versus Roman WWE title. All right, that would have been the one acceptable time, Joe, where I say the story was there, the moment was there, the crowd was there. That should have been it. And, I don't think the old man would have ever gave Sammy his flowers. So I can at least say since NXT, Triple H has always believed in Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Um, but however, bro, I just don't understand. You got two guys who outsold Roman Reigns in merchandise. Think about that. And nothing.
It's awful. It really is. But I'm not going to take away Sammy winning it and say like he didn't earn it or deserve it or anything like
Oh
that.
no, I don't want to look. I don't want to say Sammy didn't earn it. Okay, he 100% earned it. I will be honest. I will say Sami Zayn earned his title. Okay, and that's not my problem because I would argue when you look at how long they're on the road, how many birthdays, how many funerals, and all this that you miss to maybe just one day, hopefully, hold that title. Every wrestler who's ever held that title, yeah, you earned it. You 100% earned it because this business is all about sacrifice and the chance that you make it. All right. So Sami Zayn, 100%. Okay. Now, my problem is Sami Zayn, it's not that he's not good. But when you look at how many other guys, truthfully, probably right now, Joe, even I think you would admit it, probably deserve that title before Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Like,
LA Knight.
that's where I think I have a problem with it. And it's not just LA. I would say Oba. I would say Trick. I would say Jay. I would say Braun. I would
Jacob.
say who?
Jacob. Fatu.
I would say Jacob Fatu. Drew McIntyre actually having a respectable WWE Championship reign because all his title reigns have been ass despite him working his ass off. Like there are certain guys, not because I hate Sammy, but there are certain guys I would put before Sammy just because I do believe they deserved it more.
I agree. I just personally, I'm fine with Sammy as the champion. I just now I don't want to see Jay and Sammy, and that's what
But
Jay basically said tonight.
I am glad that Cody's title reign came to an end because
Yes,
Cody
and yeah,
Cody was getting stale.
yeah.
And
You
yeah,
sent something to me that like, do you think
LJ had
Cody?
said,
Yeah, do you think Cody should stay away from the title picture? And I totally yes, I
yes,
agree. Like
yes.
he's had his time, bro. Give it 2, 3 years, something like that. But it's time to get away from the gold. You don't always need to be in a title match.
No.
Build a hot story, and go with that. Like you got
Like,
feud.
what? Cody's another guy that's just like The Undertaker. Love The Undertaker. And The Undertaker had his best feuds, Joe, truthfully, when it wasn't for the title.
Yeah.
But however, Undertaker was amazing chasing the title, it's just holding the title. And Cody, dude, you have to admit this, was wonderful at chasing the title. All right? Wonderful. But him holding the title, yeah, So what I would do, and I know Cody's like, I don't want to turn heel. I'd turn him heel.
Yeah,
All right?
turn, dude. I don't care what
Because,
you want. Do what the fans want.
right. Because here's the thing the fans already want to boo you. So, in the words of Edge, this is why Edge turned heel in 2004. I came back from injury to my hometown. And instead of getting, a hero's welcome, I was booed out the building. And so if you want to boo, and this was his own words, if you want to boo, I'm going to give you something to boo about.
I want you to think about this though. Not trying to take it off topic, but I want you to think about this.
Okay.
2026 we're in right now. Look at the tag team title scene and look who are the champions. Edge and Christian,
And the Hardy Boys.
We're living in the Attitude Era right now.
Oh, yeah. Like, bro, 25 years ago, the Hardys, Edge and Christian were fighting each other for the tag team titles 25 years ago.
Here they are.
25 years later.
Still.
And Joe, look at Rey Mysterio. And 25 years ago, WCW took his mask off of him. He hated wrestling without the mask, and he felt disrespected where he was. Sat at home for the remainder of his WCW contract, came back with the mask a year later, so 24 years later, He no 24 years ago he made his WWE debut, and I would argue that Rey Mysterio now is just as good as he was in 2002. And Edge and Christian maybe slowed down a little bit, but they're still good. But the Hardys and Rey Mysterio,
That's crazy.
they have not lost a step at
It's
all.
crazy, man. No, but but getting back to Raw, I do want to ask your opinion about the Maxine Chad Gable stuff because I know you kind of.
Yeah. So, Maxine Dupree's fixing to go out for her match against Raquel. She sees Chad Gable working out, preparing for his match, or I believe, and she goes like, "Hey, I want you to know I meant everything I said, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry for coming at you the way that I did." And he goes, "You know what? There may be a time for forgiveness, but maybe that's not right now." And he goes, "You just focus on what you got to focus on right now." And then Austin Theory shows up. And he no, I think this was after she lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
After she lost, Austin Theory shows up and says, "You were talking to him? What are we doing? How are?" And this is the part that fucked me up. "How are we gonna make this work?" And then you're talking to him.
see, this is some
And
normal
then
human stuff, isn't it?
And then Otis came over, and so did Tozawa, and they were like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then she walks
I,
away immediately.
like, I don't know. That's literally what her words. I don't know. Like, she's about to break our boy's heart, man.
And the thing about it is, Otis is a really good boy. I
Yeah,
don't know what he's ever done to have his heart broken. Joe, maybe it's because Otis is like us, right? Maybe he's not all there. Maybe he's a little chubby. All right, and he sees a pretty face and a little
he
pretty
falls for
body, and he goes, "Yeah, he folds for it, bro. He's like laundry."
it. Just
Okay.
like Mandy,
Right, right. And you remember when he caught her at the Royal Rumble, don't you?
dude. When she fell off the apron and landed on him, I think everybody at that moment was like, "It should have been
Been
me."
me! Right, right. And
It's fucked
she
up.
left and she broke his heart. And now
Another one.
Maxine's about to literally betray him and break his heart.
I
And
don't
Otis is
believe
a good
Maxine.
boy.
Yeah, I don't believe Maxine saying that she's good with Chad. Something's up, bro. She's gonna break Chad's heart. Or not really Chad's heart, but
No,
oh,
here's what's going to happen. The division, because of Maxime Dupree, is going to beat up Otis. And then Chad Gable is going to come out, bro. He's going to save the day. He's going to rip the singlet off. And he's going to go, "Ah!" But now, bro, speaking of Chad Gable, now, as the match got going and after the match, the crowd was cheering. But Joe, I'm not wrong on this. We both said this.
it was
When
silent.
he came out tonight, there was not one fan cheering. In fact, the crowd was sitting down when he
Awful.
was making his entrance, bro.
Come on, people. This is Chad Gable. Like, I get his music isn't the greatest, but give him a reaction. Give him something.
You
Like,
know, and the thing is that I find funny about this is me and you both like country, but even I would agree with you. I don't like his theme song. Like,
yeah,
do you know the American Made theme song he had that sounded a lot like Kurt Angle's?
I missed that.
I
What?
wish he would have kept that.
Speaking though of the vision, Paul Heyman, bro, he literally said to Austin, like, because I guess Austin didn't know he was here, and he's like, "Well, now you
Now
know,"
you know.
like in a mean way, and just walked away. So the vision's dead. The vision
The
is dead.
True, and I feel
It's
like
been
Austin.
dead.
Now this could be good for Austin Theory. I'm thinking about it. Austin Theory is going to go on his own with Maxine Dupree, and maybe he'll keep Logan Paul by his side for a little bit. But I feel like this could be the best thing for Austin Theory's career in a very, very long time, actually.
If it gets him something, go for it. But honestly, I hope we really get Chad Gable Penta for the IC title at SummerSlam. It has to happen. It's Minnesota. Chad Gable's place. Like, come on now.
Absolutely. And so I feel like it's just the right moment, the right time it should happen. But then, what if Maxine cost him?
No.
I
Don't
know,
say
I
that.
know, but for the sake of the story, for the sake of the
No,
story.
not even that. No, Chad needs to win. If you want to beat him up after, do that. But let him have his moment. Him and Penta.
Okay, well, if I had Maxine beat him up after, it's because I'm going to have Austin Theory face Chad Gable for the Intercontinental, and Chad's going to beat him.
Well, down the line. Don't do it right off. Because I want Chad to have like at least like 3 or 4 months. Like he didn't just do all that stuff just to have a 1-month reign. That's awful.
You wouldn't want that?
No. No, but now we get to the main part of this show that I thought was very, very good. And it's your tribal chief,
Roman Reigns!
With Jacob Fatu alongside.
Yeah.
And they come to the ring. Of course, we go to commercial. Because you got to love commercials.
Bro, and if you don't say the tribal chief's name like that, you ain't saying it right. You put some respect on the tribal chief's name. All right, bro?
Acknowledge me.
And I will. I will always acknowledge my tribal chief. Okay? And brother, and the little brother came out, bro.
You had to say little brother.
And then he was like, hey there, brother. And then Roman Reigns was like, hey, little brother. And, and bro, and it's so true. And, I think back to TNA. I think about the little brother, Ryan Nemeth, and his big brother. All right, well, bro, the little brother isn't a champion. The big brother is. Same thing on WWE.
Well, Seth will be.
No, bro, I'm gonna keep breaking your heart on this because I don't know why you don't listen. I don't know why you don't listen. But Roman Reigns is not losing that title till WrestleMania.
It's happening, bro. Mark my words.
I promise you, you're a mark, and it's not gonna happen.
Seth Rollins said everything that needed to be said tonight. He said he beat Roman, or he cashed in actually, at the greatest cash in at WrestleMania, and took Roman's moment.
Okay, Joe, Royal Rumble 2022.
Well, that was when I think Roman hit him with the chair, right? And the belt.
Yep,
so he
but
didn't win.
He did not win. Have they had a match since?
No. So this is the first since then. So Seth won the last time again because that's
no, he didn't. He won by no. He won by DQ.
But he still
however,
won.
No, it don't. Because however, though he won by a DQ, he did not win the title. So Joe, like if me and you were ever in a match and you wanted to win by DQ and still be not a champion, sure, I'll let you win every single time.
Okay, he didn't win the title, but he still won in a way. But he didn't win the title, but he still
won. So it don't matter.
He still won technically, but that's what he's trying to prove.
Technically, but at the end of the day, did it matter?
That's what he's trying to tell Roman, though. Like, dude, no matter what, you could do all these things. You're the greatest. You can hold every championship, but the one thing you haven't done is beat me.
And you know
Roman
what?
said, I have to beat you.
And he will. And that's the point of the story. You literally just said the entire fucking story. And so let me tell you what's going to happen at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns is going to finally beat Seth Rollins.
I just don't think it's going to happen. I think
it's going to happen. You literally just said the entire story.
Yes, but Seth is here to conquer he needs to take. He said he had two things to do. End the vision, correct. Now take the title that he never lost. If he fails
bro, you know what? He's going to fail on that second part. All right? Bro, you literally just said the story.
I know I did.
The story is Roman's never beat Seth. You're right. However, just like the last time when Seth Rollins faced Roman Reigns, though Seth won by DQ, Seth did not get the job done. All right? Now, Roman Reigns, 4 years later, they have not fought in 4 years. Roman Reigns is going to beat Seth Rollins clean for the first time in his entire career. Okay? They have been interlinked. As Seth said this, we've been interlinked for 14 years. In 14 years, you've never beat me one-on-one. And he's right. He's 100% right. All right? We'll call a spade a spade. Seth is right. All right? However, the point of the story is Roman never beat him. Yeah, fourth longest reigning champion of all time. All the WrestleManias, yeah. But you could not beat the one guy who, throughout your entire career, has been the biggest thorn in your side. You've never done it. All right?
Yeah.
Now you're going to do it.
He also basically said like there was a lot that Seth said. Like I liked what Roman also said, but like who do you
No,
think?
Seth owned his ass. Can
Yeah,
we say
yeah,
that?
yeah. Seth owned him. Seth literally Roman tried, but Seth like bro
Yeah.
after
Because like while Roman got better at promos, he didn't. I can definitely say that Roman has gotten a lot better at promos. He's not Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose.
yeah like Seth just bro Seth brought up like this might be your last time to beat me. Like we came in together and took the young people away, and now we're those guys that the youngsters are going to try to take us away. So like this might be your last time to ever beat me. So
Right,
what do you want
right.
your legacy to be?
The fact that you can never get the job done,
Like
that's literally what he's saying.
yeah, there's a lot said in this, and I really
And
enjoyed all this.
so I hope you know this is why I know who's going to win. I love Seth's promo, but Seth literally told you the whole end game. And, and that's Seth Rollins' words. And so, now my thing about it is Seth is right. 14 years ago, we were the young kids coming into business to make a name for ourselves. Now we're the legends.
And the
All
young
right.
kids are trying to
And
take us
Seth
out.
and Seth knows his career is dwindling down. Roman knows his career is dwindling down. And you know what sucks, Joe? For all that Roman Reigns has ever done, you got to remember when the Shield was betrayed, that changed Roman Reigns. When you look at any time Roman Reigns has ever snapped, like truly, genuinely snapped, it is because of Seth Rollins. All right. And he's never, ever, 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 ever got the job done. And now Seth is getting older. Roman is getting older. And this is it. So you either do this or you never will.
I loved all this. I thought this was excellent, excellent stuff from both guys. Both guys killed it, but Seth murdered him on the mic. Like he
Yes.
absolutely destroyed him. With just the
And
stuff that he was saying in the second part, he murdered him.
and bro, and that's where I love Seth's promo. Like Seth absolutely not only murdered him, but he laid out the story. And now, while Roman Reigns will win, I have to ask myself, is this genuinely it? Is this genuinely the last time we'll ever see these two one on one?
I don't think so, but I really think Seth will win this personally. If he doesn't, fine. But this segment was great. Oba Brock Hell in the Cell announcement, great.
Great.
I really feel like the rest of the show was there with some solid stuff, but those two parts that I said, excellent. Maybe I'll add in Chad Gable and JD just because I thought that was a good match.
I love Jimmy in LA.
It was fine, and it's nothing to do with LA really losing because even if he lost, or even if he won, I didn't really care much about this.
I mean,
over and over.
there is a story though, and if anything, he's not in catering.
Yeah, at least that, but he's still losing, so it's like, I don't know.
But and now there's a 50-50 booking, and Joe, just like all 50-50 bookings, you get one more match.
Oh my god.
Remember when Christian used to do that? One more match.
I loved that. I don't love this.
And I loved Ethan Page versus Rey Mysterio. I actually really liked the Liv and Judgment Day and Danhausen stuff. I liked the EO beatdown. I didn't care for Raquel versus Maxine. Like, honestly, Joe, if there was one thing, truthfully, on this entire show, like, I can't even lie. If there was one thing on this show that I just did not care, it was that right there.
I don't think the stuff was bad. Like I said, the stuff you said was solid, except with the Maxine.
But the beginning and the end was great.
Those are the parts that you will remember. Like you remember
Yes.
about this show. Like when I
And
go
I
to remember, this is what I remember. These two.
and you know, and that's one of my favorite things you've always said about wrestling is, you know, people will remember what you started with because that's the first thing you gave them, and they'll remember what you let them go home with, the very last thing. And but the rest of it,
It was
fuck
just
it. Right. So, and you've always told me if the beginning of the show sucks, it probably sets the tone for the rest of the show. If the beginning is good, it sets the tone for the rest of the show. And also, likewise, you told me if the ending sucks, then really because it's the last thing you have, it's the last thing they give you.
that's like,
That's what you remember. It sucked.
so at least we can start off and we can end with a good, positive.
Mhm.
Everything else, I'm not gonna say like it was bad. I hated that because I didn't. It's just those two things I said were the highlights, the biggest highlight with JD and Chad Gable. Take everything else, it was there. Really not the Maxine. I wouldn't have put that on there, but
Mhm.
everything else was just there. But those three things really were my like highlights of this entire
Yeah.
trip.
But I would 100% agree with you. And I will say, here's what I like about, you know what? Because I've talked so much shit the last 3 days about Sami Zayn winning. Here's what I like about Sami Zayn winning. All right. Here's what I genuinely like. What I liked about Brock Lesnar coming out and getting that major pop. They're shocking us.
Yeah.
Joe, there was not a rumor in sight that Brock Lesnar was there.
Yeah, and I was on Facebook a lot today, and I didn't see one.
Right. And, you know, and when WWE can genuinely shock you like that's beautiful. And the fact that they've done it in 3 days twice, like, dude, I will give WWE props there. And if Triple H, this is what you want to keep doing, is, you know, because I'll admit, I love the shock. But you know why I kind of hate the shock? Because though wrestling is predictable, and sometimes we hate it because it's predictable, you know, I think it's because of my autism just a little bit. I love that it's predictable. I know what's going to happen before it happens. And so when I watch it and it happens the exact way I said, one, I feel pretty damn smart. But two,
Predictable.
you know, it's predictable and it's comfortable. You know what I mean? But however, when you don't see it coming, you
It's
know, it's amazing. And so, you know, if there is a good thing, and you know, because I do want to give WWE their flowers when the flowers are due. If there's a good thing about Triple H's booking, he's remade Hell in a Cell important. I would say Oba Femi is probably the biggest star in WWE right now. And I would say that there was two genuine shocks in 3 days. And so that is like, you know, everybody will tell you, oh, Triple H sucks, Triple H this, Triple H that, but
He has his good moments.
he has his good moments, you know.
At least they're building to SummerSlam already. Like we got 3 matches set already within
Right,
five.
and when is SummerSlam, brother?
Oh, when is it?
Yeah.
August 1st and 2nd.
Okay, so we still got over a month away.
And they're already 3 matches. EO versus Liv for the women's title, Oba, Brock, Hell in a Cell, and now Roman Seth for the world title.
And this is what I like genuinely when there is a plan. Like Joe, so they've really been building SummerSlam for the last like 2, maybe 3 months, and I love this because it's not just some random bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like they genuinely had a plan,
They're putting
and
care, effort.
that's all. That's all we wanted.
Literally, like that's all we ask for. We're not trying to bitch all the time. That's all we want. Effort and care. Show us you care. Like, come on.
Exactly.
That's all
So
we ask. Seriously.
you know now, but nothing will top TNA Slammiversary. I
Oh
watched
yeah.
the highlights of AEW. I don't know if you wanted to talk about this in this video.
Yes.
Maybe okay,
We can
because I
talk about
didn't.
it right now.
Beautiful, because AEW's Forbidden Door, while it pissed a lot of fans off, it actually did turn out because I've seen it all over social media. Joe, you were not the only fan who could not watch on HBO.
So you've
That
seen
is
others?
Yes, all over Instagram, all over Twitter, all over Facebook. A lot of people are kind of pissed the fuck off.
Oh, I wouldn't
So
be kinda like we wasted $40.
did you call in for your refund?
Yes, we got it tomorrow.
Beautiful. And so if there's a fan out there, maybe you're a little pissed off,
I feel
uh, call in, get a refund. Don't let them take your money.
I
But
miss
second,
Jay White debuting back or returning.
returning,
Yeah,
and
returning.
it was a damn good moment too. Edge is kind of like in the corner.
Yeah,
I think it was what, David Finley.
yeah.
He's about to finish off Edge, and then the lights go out. You see
Bang bang
the
gang.
Bang Bang Gang at the top of the stage, and then they start pointing the gun into the ring, and then behind David
Finley.
Finley shows up
Jay White.
Jay White hitting the gun as well. And then I don't know why it took so long, but David Finley goes, "Oh shit!" Fucking turns around and gets hit with a Blade Runner.
Place popped for that, bro. Jay got a monster reaction.
So, Joe, you were one of the fans. I was one of the fans when Jay White first came into All Elite Wrestling. Said that's a world champion. Could we finally get this?
We can. We can down the line. Could
Because one of my biggest gripes, and I do feel like this is worth griping about, when they had the Bang Bang Scissor Gang,
yeah.
was they killed the main event push of Jay White. And I heard the reaction. I seen the pop. I've seen it like 40 times across social media the last few days. Honestly, Joe, they need to do something with this guy. And then let's talk about a fucking barn burner and how bloody Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay was.
Did you
That
see
was
his
a
entrance? His video
yes,
entrance?
with the Bane mask, and he's blowing the
Yes.
smoke out the nose of the mask.
Bad ass.
Yes, sir. Bro, this is a different Will Ospreay. This is a Will Ospreay forged by combat. All right, with Grid of Death Riders. And bro, they truly killed the aerial assassin. But however, this new Will Ospreay,
Reborn.
bro, is reborn. And I'm telling you, bro, match of the night was Swerve and Osprey, bro. They were both bloodied, battered, and bruised. There was multiple times, bro. Swerve Strickland, I genuinely thought would have won that match,
And I would have
and
took MJF Swerve. That would have been a match. Money
that
match.
would have been a damn good match because what my problem was with Swerve losing the title. He was
The
the most
moment.
over guy, and they sacrificed his title reign for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Which I still liked, but I get why you were upset about it. But
And
this was match of the night.
dude, 100%. And now, Joe, I think the story's confirmed. Me and you've been calling this all year. Bro, we're 6 months into the year, and we've called this for 6 months. Will Ospreay versus MJF for the World Heavyweight Championship. But this means Andrade, who turned against the Don Callis
Boom!
family, bro, is going to lose to the devil MJF.
F Don, F MJF. I love that
I
shirt.
love that shirt, bro.
Literally, MJF deserved it, bro. He was pushing Andrade around, and Andrade had Briscoe, and then he's just like, nope. Boom! Knocks him
Bro,
out.
do you know what he reminds me of?
Who?
Eric Cartman, and which is funny because I'm Jewish and MJF's Jewish, but Eric Cartman, I don't know if you've ever seen the episode of South Park where, and I'm gonna watch how I say this. The Spanish family comes into the area, and he's making this kid say, "I like to ride my tiny bicicleta." All right, and remember, he was the food reviewer, and he
Yeah.
said, "I'll give your family a bad review if you don't do what I want." Bro, MJF is that bully, okay? And
He
then
is.
Andrade finally
Which,
stood up to the bully and laid his ass out.
but you
Love
got
that.
Leo Rush, bro. Leo Rush was in this match.
Dude, do you know that Leo Rush went viral? One of the most watched things on social media out of this whole pay-per-view is Leo Rush looking like a crackhead, bro,
He
and just
watches our stuff,
absolutely
bro.
demolishing everybody.
He watches our stuff and comments. It's crazy.
What?
Yes, he comments on the videos and posts that I posted about him a couple days ago. And to see him literally come out of a bag that MJF apparently brought in the cage, and like
Yeah,
Okada's
yeah,
taking it off, and he pops out, and the crowd went crazy.
dude,
Bro, they went crazy.
that was amazing. And you know what, Joe? You're gonna love this. You are just genuinely gonna love this because guess who was right?
The rain.
The rain.
Bro, he's telling Okada, the rain. Okada's like, what? What are you talking about?
I mean, to be fair, Okada is the rainmaker, so bring the rain.
Dude, it's just so funny how he says the rain, and you see him literally looking at Okada like, the rain,
The rain, and he starts looking up, and his eyes are like this.
He's like, huh? The rain? Where? How is it raining?
Bro,
and then MJF, he looks at his little diamond ring, and he's just like, I love Leo. Leo is killing it in this company right now with these little segments, these little moments.
Dare I say TNT champion?
Down the line. He is the Ring of Honor TV champion, I think. So he's a champion already, but...
Yeah, but he deserves more than Ring of Honor. Can we say that?
Yeah. And there's another segment when he's backstage with Orange on AEW, and they took him out of the bag, like they opened it, and he just pops out, the rain, close it. And then, like, Roddy puts an umbrella back up, and he's just like, the rain, grabs it and just walks off, and he's like, the chicken. I think he's talking about Mark Briscoe. He's like, the chicken. Where's the chicken? Bro, I don't know what it is about this character, but Leo has something.
So, all right, Leo Rush is what Danhausen is in WWE.
Yes.
Like,
I gotta say funnier.
I will. He is a lot. Well, no, because Danhausen has his moments, but bro, when he started going, where's the chicken? I started fucking dying, and you see the conglomeration like, huh?
Dude, all I thought in my head is Mark Briscoe because he
yeah, because he's the chicken farmer.
Yeah, so like, who else is he talking about? He's got an umbrella. The chicken. Where's the chicken? Like, I can't, man. That stuff. I love these little segments they add with him, bro. Like,
so I noticed something too about his character. You know why he says the rain cover me up? Because he, in his delusional mind, it's raining. And if you cover him up, he won't get rained on. The umbrella, he won't get rained on, right? And he's looking at the rainmaker talking about the rain.
Oh God, it just looks like what? Where? And bro, the one with Andrade. How you know? He knows. How you know?
He knows.
It's so funny. This is comedy gold. Like, this is the stuff I like. And
bro,
Leo, whatever he's doing.
It took me a while, but I think Leo Rush might be the best character in AEW right now.
Yeah, honestly, bro. Whatever he's got going on, that character, like when he puts the umbrella up, just the way he walks with it. There was one when.
But truthfully, here's the thing about Leo Rush. He's always been good. All right? Well, go back to WWE. All right? And I'm not just talking about Lashley. Though that was good, right? Remember when he won the NXT Cruiserweight Championship from Angel Garza and the fucking place went crazy? All right? Great moment. And then I think about when he first showed up in AEW.
I was there.
All right. I've always followed Leo Rush's career since his debut in WWE. And genuinely, my only problem with Leo Rush is there was a while he would get some momentum going and then he would retire or step away. Then he would get some momentum going. He would retire or step away. And then he started making music right after he got fired from WWE. And he actually has a damn good album. I'll send it to you after this. He's really damn good as a lyricist, bro. And but I wanted him back in the ring because I genuinely liked Leo Rush. And for the first time, maybe since he first showed up in AEW, bro,
He's the
I
most.
believe in Leo Rush.
Yeah, he's the most over, bro. You gotta. Tony's got something right here. He's got to use him more in the little skits he's doing. Don't overdo it, but make it when it
So,
needs to
how do
happen.
you do it right? Let me ask you this. What is the difference between doing it right, overdoing it, and let's say underdoing it?
If you're overdoing it, I feel like you're using him every single segment, and like he doesn't need to be in every segment. Just when it feels needed. And
Okay.
what'd you say the last one?
What is underdoing it?
That one, I'm just.
Like maybe not putting him on TV or like
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that would be an issue, especially how over he is. But
because sometimes like I always wonder like what's the line, you know what I mean? Because there is a line, and I have to ask because like for example, I would say with Charlotte Flair, I think she's genuinely, Joe, you take away the forced pushes and all that shit, I genuinely think she's one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. All right. And but then again they overdid it.
yeah,
All right. And then I look at wrestlers like, and I'm just going to stick with the women's division right now, Bailey. I feel like she would always get momentum going, but then they would underdo it. All right. But very rarely have I ever seen it like, okay, you didn't do too much and you didn't do too little.
yeah, I see what you mean. But speaking of Bailey, actually, did you see Mercedes posted a picture of her saying at Wrestle Dream October 2026?
It needs to happen.
Is this meaning Bailey's leaving soon?
So I will have to look this up, and we'll probably have to follow up on this on our next video, because I don't know Bailey's contract status, or maybe if it's even potentially ending soon.
It's the end of the year. I already looked it up.
But if Bailey does not resign at the end of the year, we could see like Joe. You look at what women's wrestling is today, especially WWE. Like I could say AEW, TNA, but TNA was already doing it. So we're going to focus on WWE. Without Bailey versus Sasha Banks, Brooklyn, New York, 2015, I don't think women's wrestling would have actually got the fair chance that it has today.
I don't think
Okay,
so either.
those women
Stole the show.
respect. They stole the show, and forever. Not they changed an entire company on how they treat women's wrestling. And, that is to me the most beautiful thing I have ever heard in a sentence. And, Joe, if these women who 11 years, bro, that's fucking crazy. 11 years ago created magic.
11
Could
years.
we see the magic reunite?
Yes.
I'm not reunite. Could the magic be recreated one more time?
Yes. Yes. We're getting this one more time, bro. She's not posting that picture for no reason. She knows something. And
Because you
Bailey,
got to
look how she's
remember,
been treated.
Bailey is her real life best friend.
Yeah. And she put her real name down too, I think.
Pam.
Yeah, like so she knows something. So that
So, and it would make sense because, like, bro, if you were unhappy wherever you're at, truthfully, if I'm your best friend, I think I would know, right?
yeah,
And so, I mean, you look at the booking of Bailey,
awful.
it's
Wait,
awful. And even though I loved her stuff with Lyra, and I think a Lyra Bailey match with now that Lyra's heel could be very, very good. But that last world title Bailey had right as Damage Control was coming to
yeah,
an end. I think that's her last WWE Women's title reign.
me too. Because I think her last match is going to be against Lyra. She's going to
And
put her over, and she's going to leave.
which, if so, Bailey left gracefully.
Yeah.
If you can make another talent while exiting the door, no complaining, just showing up and doing what you got to do, and still giving something to the future, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, and I've always said this about the Four Horsewomen. Bailey and Sasha are the best of the Four Horsewomen.
Yeah.
And I love Charlotte. Like I said earlier, I believe Charlotte, despite being overpushed, one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. But there's something different, and I think you know what I'm saying. There's something different about Bailey and Mercedes.
Bailey and Mercedes love wrestling more. I'm always gonna say this. Like them two love it more, I feel, than Charlotte and Becky. Not saying they don't love it. I don't want no one to think I'm
But
not
it's
saying
a different kind of love,
that.
right? Like for
Like
example,
Bailey even wrote a book saying how much she loved this.
right. And I think it's kind of like me and you. All right? Like look, I used to really really love wrestling. I don't love it the way that I used to, if I'm 100% honest. All right? But however, Joe, this is the love of your life. All right? And I don't think that could ever be taken away from you. That this wrestling is the love of your life. And when I look at the four horsewomen, yeah, Bailey, I'm sorry, Charlotte and Becky, they might like wrestling, they might love wrestling,
Not as
but
much as
it is not the love of their life. Now you can say, well, Sasha left WWE. Well, WWE was not the love of her life.
it was wrestling.
Wrestling.
She's still wrestling. She's wrestled everywhere. She's in Japan. She's in Mexico. Now she's in AEW. Like,
Right,
and
just this past year, she was a 13. The bro, and not all of them were world titles, but she held 13 consecutive titles at the same fucking time.
and look at her favorite wrestler, a wrestler,
Eddie
Eddie Guerrero.
Guerrero. You know who Bailey's favorite wrestler of all time is, right?
Um,
It was Matt Hardy and Eddie Guerrero.
which is funny. They both have the same. Like, that's crazy, bro. Bailey. See, this is what I mean. I don't want nothing. I don't want no one thinking I'm saying that Charlotte and Becky don't love wrestling or anything like that. They might. They probably do.
But it's
But
a
they don't
different
do it.
love.
Yeah, they don't love it as much as Bailey and Mercedes. Like I
Right.
believe Mercedes loves the business, and I
It
know
did-
Bailey does.
right. And now don't get me wrong. If Charlotte Flair were to leave WWE tomorrow, no matter what company she went to, bro, she'd be a beast.
Yeah, same with Becky.
But do I see her wrestling on the independents like Sasha? No,
I see.
no.
I see Becky doing it.
Becky would, because Becky was an independent wrestler.
Yeah, I think Becky loves it just as much. I just don't think she loves it as much as Bailey and Mercedes. But
I think.
yeah.
I think she loves it, but she has a family. She's married now. And I'm gonna tell you something. As you get older, here's a scientific fact: every 7 years, your brain chemically changes. So maybe some things you never used to like, all of a sudden you don't know why you like, and then some things that you really used to like,
You hate now.
you hate now. And that's just science. So there's really that doesn't make you a bad person or nothing. It just that's what your body does.
Yeah.
And I would say as we get older, your priorities change. You look at Becky, she's married, she has a kid. I say she's not there all the time because her priorities change. And she could be, a 40-time women's champion. She could be a 40-time WrestleMania main eventer. But, she would never be home with her daughter.
Yeah, that's what's more important.
Right. And so that's one where, I even look at myself, and I think part of it is the creative. The creative is just not what it was when we were kids. And I think we can be honest and say
Yeah.
that, but however, another part of it is I feel constantly as a fan disrespected by wrestling. And I know that's something I've loved my entire life. If I were to pass away, would not care. And right. And now that I'm getting married, now that, I'm starting to read my Bible a lot more, I look at things that love me. and if I were to pass away, those things would love me and they would cherish me and they would miss me. I would be with God forever. And my fiance, God forbid I ever leave her because of my death, she would miss me. That's the difference of priority. It's not that I hate wrestling. I don't think I could ever hate wrestling. But when I look at, maybe not loving it like I used to, that's the why, and I think there's nothing wrong with that, genuinely. But that's the why. Now, and then there's a special few who, like yourself, like Bailey, like Mercedes, this is the love of my life. WWE is not the love of your life, but
Wrestling.
professional wrestling is the love of your life. And Joe, I've said it since we started this podcast. You're not a sports entertainment guy. I genuinely don't think that you actually give two fucks about that. You're a wrestling guy.
I like
You
both. Those are
you
my
like both, but Joe, the things I know that you love the most are
uh,
guys who can get in there and give you a 30-minute barn burner. You know what I mean? And I think it's fucking awesome. For me, now I know you love the storytelling. I just love the storytelling and the characters a little more than I do the wrestling. And that's where me and you differ. And so what I love about it, especially when we get to talking like this, is it's not that, we love it, I would say more than the other. We love it in different ways. And so when you're talking about, why you love this, I genuinely love it because I know that though it's different than the way that I love it, it's real and you can't hide that. And
yeah.
I think when you're approaching it from your view and I'm approaching it from my view, what I love about it is that's what makes us great. We're
Yeah.
literally in some ways the same and opposites of each other. And you know what? Just like science, bro, opposites attract.
That's good, honestly, like I said. So
Mhm.
I'd rather you disagree with me and be honest, and I don't want you to be like telling me you're right and all that. Like that's
Well, I mean, imagine if every single time, like, say there was a pay-per-view prediction, every single body that you said was going to win, I was just like, "Yep, that's who I want. Yep, that's who I want."
yeah, it'd be lame. I'd rather you go against me and then we go head to head like that because it's better for our show anyways to be
Right.
like
And and I genuinely love it. I love it when it actually get. I'm gonna tell you something that's kind of fucking crazy. I actually love it when it gets heated. I love it when I know there's a fire in your belly,
I same with
because
you. I'm telling
that's
you,
when that passion comes out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
There's
the
times
other
we
day.
both get serious. So
Oh yeah, like the other day, bro. After
Sammy,
Night of Champions, I was mad as hell.
yeah,
And then
that
there's
video got taken down. I'm not gonna lie.
oh fuck. Well, anyways, I was mad as hell. And then before we went live, you were smiling, you were laughing, and I remember you saying, "This is gonna be great. This is gonna be
I'm
great."
telling you,
And because it's that passion.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether you love it, you hate it, it's that passion.
Yeah, so I was fine with it. Like I said, as long as like you're not saying nothing bad to the point, you got your opinion, and that's fine. I got mine, and we're gonna talk it out and see how this goes.
Right, but I want you to know it's not just because I may not agree with you. I'm never going to attack you personally. It's
Yeah,
not like I'm ever going to come at you and say, "Oh, you don't like Roman Reigns. You're a piece of shit."
yeah.
You
Same to
know,
you with mine.
right? Like I don't think you've actually ever went, "Man, you like Jey Uso? Fuck you." I don't
Yeah,
think you've
I don't.
ever
I'm
done
not.
that.
I'm not
But
that.
you have said "fuck Jey Uso,"
Well, because I don't like Jay like as a
and
world champion, not
I
a
get it. You see him as a tag team
team guy.
guy,
Just like
a
Mike
mid
Santana.
a mid Carter.
Yeah.
Okay, and see you admitted it, and I'm proud of you.
Well, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that's what you think.
I mean, bro, I'm the smart mark, like smart Mark Sterling. Okay, let me tell you something, brother. Um, I just I can't help but accept greatness. I look at 11 WrestleMania main events. I look at the fourth longest reigning WWE champion of all time. Seth don't have 11 WrestleMania main
He's
events.
gonna beat Roman. I'm gonna keep saying it.
All right, bro, and when it happens that Roman beats him, and we do the podcast, and I
I was
come on here
wrong.
smiling.
I
All
was
right.
wrong.
And you will acknowledge me because I'm your tribal chief. All
You
right.
did to me, so I'll do it to you. It's okay.
That's fair. That's fair. And but Joe, I don't have no problem saying it. When you're right, you're right. Because once again, you do know this business. You know, just like I do. I have, and I think that's when I get mad. I genuinely get mad when I know you know the patterns of the business. There's no way you don't. And then you're like, no, bro, that's not going to happen. And then
Because
it
I'm
ends up
going with my
happening.
heart.
Now, I will say this. I will say this. Your heart was right on Saturday. All right. So you're not always wrong. But however, for the most part, like especially when it comes to WWE, I'll be like, bro, come on, you know this. And
I
then you'll be
know.
like, no. Like for example, Danhausen. All right, when I said it's not gonna be Jericho, it's not gonna be Jericho, I was doing that so you wouldn't get mad. And then when the day came and it wasn't Chris Jericho,
I was pissed.
you were mad as hell.
No, but I did say Seth and Roman was going to be SummerSlam for a while now, and I got that right.
You did. You called. I want. No, you called that before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I wanted Seth to win the whole King of the Ring because I wanted him to go after Roman, but then he lost, and I was like, okay, so we're out of that, and then now we're still getting it.
And so, bro, you know what? You were 100% right. And you know what? I want you to smile about that. I want you to realize, like, you know what? You were the smart mark. I'm just a mark on this one.
Oh man. No, but
But
honestly, the two best parts of Raw tonight was those two things I said: Brock Oba and Roman Seth. Everything else was just there.
do
Yeah.
you want to watch your favorite dumpster fire tomorrow?
Oh no, I'm not watching it. I'll
you don't.
pass on
You
that.
don't want to watch the greatest disappointment of all time, NXT.
Oh, I'm ready for AEW on Wednesday because we got Mark Briscoe versus MJF for the world title.
That's gonna be so good, bro. And you know what? I wanna see the rain come down on the chicken.
I hope Leo's there, bro. Or something.
He has to be.
Yeah.
He has to be, bro.
For real.
And I guess the last thing I'm gonna say, um, fuck, there's no way my mind just went blank. Oh yeah, now I know what I was gonna say. This is kind of why I want you to watch tomorrow. Okay, I know it's gonna piss you off, but the reason why I want you to watch
Data.
tomorrow is because for I never thought this would happen. I want you to know, Joe, a year ago I would have never said this to you. But Carmen Petrovic is being more pushed than Jada Parker.
That's why I'm not watching. I'm good.
That's why I want you to watch.
I'm good.
Because you have to see what I saw.
I'm good. I see highlights. I am good. That
Okay,
show's
so did you see the highlight when they're backstage, and instead of Jada, because Jada Parker normally you say something to her, right? She claps back. No, she just sits there and takes it.
I'm not watching. Sorry. I'm not getting myself mad. I've been free on Tuesdays, and it felt great.
Hey, bro, that's fair. That's fair. It's kind of like when you take your jeans off after a long day of work.
You sick, man. No, but I'm not watching it. I'm looking for Dynamite on Wednesday.
But we will be live Wednesday. Thank you everybody who joined. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe.